So are character Eidolons actually worth it in Honkai Sorrow? Should you go for horizontal or vertical investment is what I want to talk about in today's video. And the answer really depends. There are some 5 stars who have their kits really open up at E1, for example Firefly, Red May, Tribi, but I can clear all of the, and I will use myself as an example throughout this video, I can clear all of the endgame just fine while using all 3 of these units in the endgame even as a version 3.2 without any of their E1s. As you can see right here, all 3 units I just mentioned are at E0, S0, and I can still get by just fine with all 3 of them. So what is my answer? I would say go for horizontal investment for almost everybody. If you can, try to pick a certain amount of units, maybe 1, 2, 3, 5 stars, however many, to actually over invest into, or maybe not over invest, but min-max, go all the way for them. As you can see, I have an E3 S1 Sparkle, and you might have been able to notice I don't have Robin or Sunday on my account. The reason why is because I just simply do not need them. My Sparkle is good enough as a replacement for both Robin and Sunday. I can get by just fine. I can almost zero cycle MLC with this Sparkle that I have. And this is because I have Eidolons on her along with her light cone as well. So my final verdict is go for horizontal investment, but pick a small amount of units that you, if you really like them, you can get Eidolons on them to get their light cone. For DPSs, however, I will say E0, S0 should be what you have on most of them. The furthest you should ever go with a DPS if you are a free-to-play or even a low spender is E0, S1. And this is because DPSs don't necessarily get power crept, but the meta in this game shifts so much to the point where somebody like Fei Xiao is not usable in any kind of AoE content whatsoever. I have E0 S1 Fei Xiao, but despite that, I haven't been able to use her once ever since I got her back in 3.0 because the current meta heavily shills AoE DPSs. So if you're gonna go for a DPS and even get their Eidolons in the light cone, get ready to bench them up until the meta is in their favor. Once we're out of this AoE meta, a character like the Herda will not be power crept, but she will fall off. We've already seen this happening even recently with Firefly. Firefly, I have a E0, S0, and I am starting to see the fall off, not because of power creep one final time. Rappa did not power creep Firefly, but Firefly cannot keep up in any kind of AoE content. If you've ever tried to use Firefly in Pure Fiction and noticed how badly the results were, that is the effect that is happening with Firefly in MLC and even Apocalyptic Shadow right now because of how bad she is when it comes to AoE content. My Jingliu is at E0 S1, but despite that, I only use her whenever the MLC resets are easy enough for me to use my E0 S1 Jingliu. But despite that, ever since I got Sparkle back in 2.0, I have used her in every single MLC refresh, every time Apocalyptic Shadow has reset, every time period, all of the endgame, Divergent Universe, Simulated Universe, Unknowable Domain, I always have Sparkle on the team no matter what. And this is because I've invested into her enough to where she can keep up with the endgame. She can do more than enough in the endgame for me to be able to use her. Red May is E0, S0, so she is having a little bit of a harder time, but despite that, she is still getting by just fine. So I understand that I am yapping, but still, nonetheless, my final verdict is go for horizontal investment because you should not make the mistake of over investing into, especially not DPS units, but just units overall. But I will say though, you can opt for going for Eidolons on your Harmony units. That way you don't have to get the newer ones all of the time. People believe that Sunday power crept Sparkle because they keep on going for a bunch of Harmony units and as a result have benched Sparkle because Sunday is, don't get me wrong, he is noticeably better, but he is not so much better to the point where Sparkle is no longer usable in the meta. If you have even E0 S1 Sparkle or E1 S1 Sparkle, that will be enough to probably rival Sunday, if not just straight up be better than an E0 S0 Sunday. But that's about it for this video. I would say if you're going to go for Eidolons or a character's light cone, or more importantly both on a unit, at the very least make it a support unit, or at the very least like a Harmony at that. Do not invest into DPSs because Instead of opting for, their Eidolons, try to fill out your DPS roster by having different DPSs of different archetypes. As you can see, I have one single target DPS, one super break DPS, one AoE DPS, and then whatever the hell Acheron is. This is also why I didn't want to go for Mighty, because Jingliu already exists and she is also going to be getting buffed. So I have no reason to get Mighty on my account, considering that Jingliu will probably be able to compete with her compete with him, I should say, in version 3.4. But that's about it for this video. I'll see y'all. Goodbye.